Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. 5 players you forgot suited up for the Arizona Cardinals. Maybe Arizona is where stud running backs go after dominating elsewhere. Former Indianapolis Colts running back Ja'Ron James did it, and so did the NFL's all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith. Smith put a cap on his Hall of Fame career by playing 2 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. While he's obviously remembered for dominating with the Dallas Cowboys, his 2 seasons in Arizona are often overlooked. Here is a list of 5 NFL players you may have forgotten who suited up with the Cardinals at some point in their careers, including yet another superstar running back. Emmitt Smith played 13 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys and won 4 rushing titles, 3 Super Bowls, and an NFL MVP. And even if he didn't play the final 2 seasons of his Hall of Fame career with the Cardinals, he'd still be number 1 on the all-time rushing list. After taking Offensive Rookie of the Year honors in 1990 with 937 rushing yards, the former Florida Gator recorded 11 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons with the Cowboys. He ran for a career-high 1,713 yards in 1992 and then earned MVP honors in 1993 after rushing for a league-high 1,486 yards in 14 games. Smith finished his Cowboys career with 17,162 rushing yards, 436 more than Walter Payton, who is second on the all-time list with 16,726 yards. Smith's 2 seasons in the desert are a bit of a blur. After his days in Dallas were done, Smith signed with the Cardinals in 2003. But during a trip to Texas to face his former team, he broke his left shoulder blade in the second quarter of a 24-7 loss. He ultimately missed 6 games and finished the season with 90 carries for 256 yards and 2 touchdowns. In 2004, Smith returned to form, playing in 15 games and rushing for 937 yards, bringing his career total to 18,355 and 9 touchdowns. He retired after the 2004 campaign and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2010. Jim McMahon was the 5th overall pick in the 1982 NFL Draft, selected by the Chicago Bears after a standout college career at BYU. The punky QB led the Bears to their lone Super Bowl title in the 1985 season after the Bears went 15-1 during the regular season. They then thumped the New England Patriots in the title game, 46-10, at the time the biggest blowout in Super Bowl history. McMahon played 7 seasons with the Bears, going 46-15 in the regular season during that stretch and completing 57.8% of his passes for 11,203 yards and 67 touchdowns. The Chicago Bears traded McMahon to the San Diego Chargers after the 1988 season. After his time with the Bears, McMahon played for 5 different teams in 8 years. He won another Super Bowl as a backup QB with the Green Bay Packers, and also played for the Minnesota Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Cardinals. McMahon's time with the Cardinals is easily the most obscure. He played in 2 games for Arizona in 1994, starting 1. He went 0-1 and completed 23 of his 43 passes for 219 yards and a touchdown in a Cardinals uniform. Cowboy Roundup, the Tony Romo What If offense's secret weapon. Happy Friday, Dallas Cowboys fans. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed the holiday and isn't too hungover this Friday as we prepare for the weekend. In the meantime, let's look at some of the latest news and headlines making the rounds in Cowboys Nation. Training camp is only a few weeks away. Blogging the Boys is looking back at some of the greatest what-if moments in Dallas Cowboys history, and the first one centers around Tony Romo and Dak Prescott. If Tony Romo wasn't injured during the 2016 preseason the same year that Prescott was drafted in the 4th round of the NFL Draft, how would the Cowboys' trajectory have been? It's an interesting what-if to examine. The Dallas Cowboys will take a running back by committee approach to start the 2024-25 season, with Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, and Deuce Vaughn getting most of the attention. However, it seems like Hunter Luepke always gets overlooked, but could he be the offense's secret weapon? Cam Newton blasts Cowboys, that is not America's team no more. If one were to peek into the NFL's storied history, then he'd surely come across the Dallas Cowboys at one point. Known as America's team, the Cowboys rose to fame over 5 decades ago due to their on-field success and overall marketability. Their enormous fan base continues to thrive today, and that said nickname has been synonymous with the franchise throughout the years. However, one former NFL player thinks that Dallas isn't America's team anymore, Cam Newton. During a recent episode of 4th and 1 with Cam Newton, the ex-quarterback claimed that the Cowboys shouldn't be called as such due to their lack of recent success. They don't seem to know how to win, and then everybody points fingers at Dak Prescott, Newton said. I understand the whole America's team. That is not America's team no more, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who had to say that. The Kansas City Chiefs is America's team by way of who's dating who, and who's winning what. They are America's team. Let's stop lying to ourselves, okay? If y'all want to get back to that title, y'all got to obviously win, okay? The Cowboys have been a playoff team throughout the past 3 seasons, but a deep postseason run has yet to occur in recent times. The team hasn't made it past the divisional round ever since their last Super Bowl victory, which transpired in 1995. In other words, it's been very frustrating for Dallas fans, who continue to wait for another taste of the Cowboys' success in the 70s and 90s. And as Newton indicated, the criticism usually falls on the players, Dak Prescott in particular. Being an NFL starting quarterback comes with plenty of pressure. But taking on the role of signal caller for a storied franchise such as the Cowboys? Now that's a different kind of challenge. By no means is Prescott a bad player. Being named a second-team All-Pro, winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year award and making the Pro Bowl 3 times are all commendable feats. Still, the noise won't ever stop until he gives the franchise that elusive Super Bowl title. Right now, things are very uncertain in Dallas. Prescott is in the final year of his contract, and no extension has been signed as of yet. There's been no word on a new deal with CeeDee Lamb either. Additionally, Micah Parsons is expected to be given a massive extension as early as next year, so that's another thing that the team has to work on. It also doesn't help how the Cowboys' all-in offseason has been anything but eventful. With plenty of departures and just 2 outside signings, there seems to be no sign of an end to the drought. It can be theorized that the quiet free agency period indicates an upcoming rebuild, one which prioritizes younger players. Still, it's too early to tell, and only time will give Cowboys fans the answers they long for. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Cam Newton? Leave your opinion in the comments.